Hi everyone, welcome back to the TechDayEveryday channel. Today I would like to show you my review of the HS-02A soldering iron from FNIRSI. I have the most complete kit available here, which includes the soldering iron with the portable soldering box, extra soldering tips, a USB cable and a 100 watt power adapter. If you are planning to buy this gear at the best possible price, make sure to check out the links in the video description below. The USB-C to USB-C cable is about 120 cm long with a diameter of nearly 6 mm. It's made of silicone, so it's very soft, which directly improves the comfort of use. It also features solid metal connectors. The manufacturer guarantees that the cable supports 100 watts. As you can see, it doesn't have a built-in e-marker chip. The kit also includes a USB-C to DC barrel plug adapter, which we will test later. There is also a 100 watt power brick with a USB-C port. As you can see, it supports multiple voltages and currents. A quick test showed that it supports various charging protocols such as Quick Charge 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 and power delivery up to 105 watts. Okay, now let's move on the main course, the soldering iron itself. On the packaging we can find some basic information about the device. The main highlights, of course, are the power output and the operating temperature range. The manufacturer claims a power output of 100 watts, which should be perfectly with the included USB-C power supply. Inside the box there is a carrying case that feels very solid. The soldering iron fits snugly inside it. The device is made of high quality materials featuring 3 buttons and a color screen. The tips are of course hot-swappable and use the C245 standard. At the top of the device you will find the USB-C power port and a screw for connecting an additional ground wire. The case is very compact and serves multiple functions. It has a built-in stand for the soldering iron, a tip cleaner and a tray for the debris collected from the tip. On the left side there is a brilliant designed solder dispenser. The solder is on a spool which you can access without any issues. The kit comes with 5 extra tips, so everyone will find the right one for working with various SMD and THT components of different sizes. Okay, let's turn on the soldering iron and see how fast it heats up to the target temperature of 350 degrees Celsius. This is a standard working temperature. Of course you can use higher temperatures, but that puts you at risk of overheating the components and wearing out your soldering tips much faster. While we are at it, let's check how much power is drawn from the dedicated power supply. As you can see, the soldering iron uses the power delivery protocol at 20 volts and the maximum power draw during heating is around 100 watts, which matches the specs perfectly. Once it reaches the target temperature, the soldering iron draws about 10 watts. On the display we can see the current tip temperature, the set temperature, the supply voltage, a power bar representing the current power draw and 3 predefined temperatures presets that you can switch between by pressing the OK button. By holding down the arrow button simultaneously for a moment, we enter the device menu. The menu is simple, clear and intuitive. Here we can set the sleep time, standby time and sleep temperature. We can also configure the temperatures for the 3 presets. Additionally, we can adjust the voltage and power, which I will discuss later, as this is very important if you want to use the soldering iron connected to a power source rated below 100 watts. We can also set the temperature step for a single button click or perform a tip temperature calibration. In the system settings we can change the language, set right or left-handed mode, change temperature units, manage the buzzer volume and adjust screen brightness. We can also change how the temperature changes are displayed on the screen. This feature called Roll was added in the latest firmware version. The next options are firmware update, device info and a factory reset option. Okay, now I would like to show you how to properly power the soldering iron from sources rated under 100 watts. I believe this is a crucial piece of information. For this test I will use a 20 watts power bank, a 65 watts Dell power adapter and a 12 volts DC power supply rated at 36 watts, in this case using the included DC adapter. Let's start with the Dell power adapter. It supports the 65 watts power delivery protocol at 20 volts. When connected, the soldering iron boots up, but as soon as it starts heating, the device shuts down. This happens because the soldering iron tries to draw 100 watts, which triggers the overload protection in the power brick. To fix this, we need to activate the hidden adaptive power mode. To do this, you have to hold down the right arrow button while plugging in the power cord. In this mode, the soldering iron gradually increases the power until the power supply shuts off. After rebooting, the soldering iron limits its power to a safe, detected value from the test. The device now works properly because its power has been reduced, which we can verify in the settings. Now let's check how the soldering iron behaves when connected to a 20 watts power bank that supports quick charge 2.0 and 3.0 up to 12 volts. The soldering iron settings has been reset to 20 volts and 100% power. As we can see, the power bank doesn't shut down, instead it struggles against the soldering iron. The voltage dropped below 5 volts, but despite the overload, the power bank stays on. The soldering iron heats up very slow because at such a low voltage the power output is only about 8 watts. I think that with these settings the power bank could get damaged due to the overload. In this scenario the adaptive power mode won't work correctly because the power bank doesn't shut off. We have to change the settings manually. We can enter the settings menu before heating starts by holding down both arrows buttons simultaneously. Then you have to change the supply voltage to 12 volts and the power limit to about 15%. As you can see, the device now works perfectly on 12 volts with a power draw of around 20 watts and the power bank is no longer overloaded. Next, let's check the DC power supply with the adapter. The power supply delivers 12 volts and a maximum current of 3 amps, giving us about 36 watts. In this case, we also need to set the parameters manually to avoid overloading it. As you can see, the soldering iron works fine. If needed, you could slightly limit the power even further in the options to eliminate any voltage drops below 12 volts during heating. My final test was checking the temperature calibration. As you can see, the set temperature values differ slightly from the actual ones. In my opinion, manual calibration isn't really necessary as these differences are purely cosmetic. Using this soldering iron is incredibly convenient thanks to the compact carrying case. We get quick access to the solder, the cleaner and the stand. It's the perfect solution for field work, especially since you can power it from a power bank. The extra tips make it much easier to work with different types of components. If you have any additional questions about this product, feel free to ask in the comments section below. I will do my best to answer all of them. If you found this video helpful, please leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye!